everyone, my name's Allie and welcome back to my channel, Mindful Living. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 6 of the best cool season crops to plant in your container garden for spring. All of these plants will thrive in cooler spring temperatures and can handle a light frost, so make sure to check the frost date for your area and plant your seeds accordingly. The first cool season vegetable on my list is cauliflower. Cauliflower prefers to be planted in full sun, providing it with 6 to 8 hours of sunlight per day, and temperatures that range from 50 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 to 18 degrees Celsius. When temperatures remain above 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 degrees Celsius, it really will impact how your cauliflower produces, as these plants do not like hot temperatures. You want to make sure you're planting this in early spring in order for you to get a nice head of cauliflower. Plant cauliflower in a large container that is 12 to 18 inches wide and 8 to 12 inches deep. While cauliflower does have a more shallow root system, you still want a large container as this plant is going to grow quite big. So only plant 1 cauliflower per container. One of the most important things when you are growing cauliflower is to make sure you protect the head of your cauliflower from any direct sunlight. This technique is called blanching, and while there are some self-blanching varieties of cauliflower, most are not, so you need to protect the head of cauliflower from being exposed to direct sunlight, which will cause it to go yellow and change the flavor. So simply wrap your leaves and secure them with a plant clip or some twine, and that way you get the best taste and color for your cauliflower. Another vegetable that is extremely cold tolerant is turnips. Opt for a container that is 12 to 18 inches deep and choose one as wide as you like. I have a fairly wide container here because that means you can grow even more turnips. I recommend spacing them several inches apart to allow the root bulb to swell to a decent size, and make sure to direct sow turnips so you don't damage their delicate taproot. Turnips like temperatures from 45 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 7 to 24 degrees Celsius. They don't like temperatures above this, as high temps negatively impact the root bulb and how it develops. They are also really fast growing and they can mature in anywhere from 45 to 55 days, so they make a perfect addition to your early spring garden. Turnips are ready for harvest when the root swells to at least 2 inches in diameter. You want to pull your turnips directly at the base, tugging gently. You can also eat the leaves of turnips. They are edible, so harvest these when they are young and tender, about 4 to 5 inches tall, and only remove a few leaves at a time so that your turnip continues to grow and develop its bulb. After harvesting, remove the leaves. You can use these in garden salads, and thoroughly wash your turnips. They are a root vegetable, so they will be a little bit dirty, and then you can eat them fresh or store them in the refrigerator for several weeks. Cool season crop number 3 is kale. And kale is one of my favorites to grow in my container garden because not only is it easy to grow, but it's also a superfood and is nutrient dense. Kale prefers to grow in full sun to partial shade, so it can receive anywhere from 6 to 8 hours in full sun and about 4 to 6 hours in partial shade. The variety I'm growing here is a dwarf variety of kale, so it doesn't get as large as other varieties, and I do think that this is one of the best ones to grow in a container. Kale likes temperatures from 55 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 13 to 24 degrees Celsius. In fact, kale is actually going to grow and taste better when it's grown in cooler temperatures. Cooler temperatures produce better tasting leaves, and temperatures above 75 degrees Fahrenheit are going to produce more bitter tasting kale. Select a large pot that is 12 to 15 inches wide and deep, and I've even grown my kale in a hanging basket as long as it's large enough, and keep in mind that the larger the container, the larger your kale plant will grow. This variety of kale is ready for harvest in 55 to 65 days, and you want to harvest when the leaves are a deep green color with a firm texture. Always harvest the side leaves first, and then leave the new growth in the middle so that your plant continues to produce for you all spring. Another plant that makes a great addition to your spring container garden is Swiss chard. The variety that I'm growing here is called Bright Lights, and there is a variety of different colors. Swiss chard is a low-maintenance leafy green that tolerates both cool and warm climates. It has vibrant stalks that range in color and add a beautiful pop of color to your container garden. The most ideal temperature to grow Swiss chard is from 50 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 to 24 degrees Celsius. Depending on the variety, however, it can stand up to the heat of summer if it's grown in partial shade. When growing in the spring, I recommend placing your Swiss chard in full sun, so anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a day, and if you're growing it into the summer months, opt for partial shade, which is 4 to 6 hours a day. Plant your Swiss chard in a container that is 12 to 15 inches deep and wide, and harvest the leaves whenever you'd like. You can harvest them when they're small or when they're larger. It's really up to you. Swiss chard does have a robust and fast growth habit that allows for multiple harvests off your plant throughout the growing season. So you just want to remove the larger outer leaves and leave the new growth to continue growing in the middle, just like you do for your kale plants. And by doing that, you're going to get multiple harvests. Swiss chard is really delicious and nutritious. You can eat the leaves and also the stalk of your Swiss chard, so nothing goes to waste. One of my favorite ways to enjoy this leafy green is in Swiss chard roll-ups, which are just like cabbage rolls and are so tasty and delicious. The fifth plant on my list of cool season crops is bok choy. Bok choy is a type of cabbage that is often used in Asian cuisine. It likes the cool temperatures of spring, ranging from 50 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 to 24 degrees Celsius, and it's very fast to grow. Bok choy will mature in 30 to 45 days from seed to harvest. This is another one that I grew in my hanging basket, but ideally you want to use a container that is 10 to 12 inches wide and deep, and in that I've planted 3 bok choy plants. This type of plant prefers full sun to partial shade and is ready for harvest when your plant is 12 to 15 inches tall. However, you can also harvest baby bok choy, which is when you harvest the leaves when they're only 6 to 8 inches tall. The sixth and final plant to sow for early spring is lettuce. Lettuce tolerates a temperature range of 50 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 to 21 degrees Celsius, but the optimum temperature for them to grow their best is from 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 to 18 degrees Celsius. Lettuce prefers to grow in full sun to partial shade, and the days to maturity will depend upon the variety you are growing. Leaf lettuce grows the fastest and is ready for harvest in anywhere from 45 to 50 days. Whereas head lettuce will be ready in 70 to 85 days, so it does take a little bit longer. Choose a container that is 10 to 12 inches wide and 6 inches deep. Lettuce does have a shallow root system, so they don't need a very deep container. I've successfully grown mine in a long, wide container or in a stackable planter, spacing the plants a few inches apart. I prefer to grow leaf lettuce as it does grow the quickest, and you can get multiple harvests off of one plant. Harvest your leaves fresh when they are 3 to 6 inches in length using the cut and come again method, where you remove the outer leaves and leave the new growth in the middle. Another great leafy green to grow for spring is arugula, which also does really well in cool spring temperatures. After harvesting your leaves, make sure to thoroughly wash them and dry them after. You can use paper towel or a salad spinner to do this, and then store them in the refrigerator for up to a week. Of course, it's best to harvest and enjoy your lettuce fresh if you can, especially when you're growing it outside in your garden. I hope if you guys enjoyed this video today, you will leave me a like, make sure to leave a comment down below, let me know what you're planting for your spring garden. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.